It is such a beautiful day, and I thought, what better way to spend this beautiful day than to take you along in an audition. Hello, my name is Paige Evans, and I am a Toronto-based actress. I got a self-tape a few days ago, and I took the weekend, and this is really necessary. I already know that there's going to be somebody listening that needs to hear this because I need constant reminders of this. It's okay to rest. You don't have to be working on a million things, and you don't have to be stressing yourself out. You're not doing enough, and you should be further in your career, and you're comparing yourself to everybody. Hey, been there. Hey, my name is Paige Evans, been there. Okay? I think this all the time. I constantly feel bad and like a failure when I'm in silence and when I'm trying to recharge. So I took the weekend and I hung out with friends and I thought about this podcast a lot. Hello, airplane. Hello. Safe travels, buddy. I did want to take you along in my process of what it looks like to have a self-tape. I received this self-tape on Friday. It is now Monday afternoon. Sometimes you have a few days to do a self-tape and sometimes you have 24 hours, but thankfully I have a week to do this self-tape. When I first looked at it, I was like, what do I do here? Because another thing that's in my mind constantly is trying to elevate myself and elevate my career and always be pushing and bettering myself with every project that I receive. And I don't know why I think like that, because being on set is such a privilege that we take advantage of every time. Like when I'm on set, I'm not living in the moment at all, and I should be, and I'm definitely trying to change that. But so I received the self-tape. I have a week to do it. Whoa, this one, it actually gives you how many lines you have. I have 170 lines and 39 scenes. I don't think I've ever seen that. Oh wow, doesn't film in Toronto, which is really cool. So if you don't know what to expect at all when you receive a self-tape, I get an email from my agent and it gives the breakdown, just me, your character description, the description of the project that you are going to be auditioning for, when it's due, slating instructions, payment, what it is, the production company, and it also gives everyone who is involved in it. So I have producers, directors, writers, casting, all of that stuff. And then it also shows where you are going to be filming it. Obviously, I cannot tell you all the specific details, but this is what I do to prepare for an audition. I first of all review my sides. I have 9 pages. Slay. I love a big audition. Like if it's just a 1-pager, I'm like, oh, okay. 9 pages, I'm like, let me show you what I can do. And this thing that I have been doing, and it's actually really helped me with my auditions, I have stopped thinking of it like an audition. I have a 9-page short film that I am going to be doing for you. That is what I think. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I need this job. I need, like I have given up control in that aspect. And yes, acting, you have no control and very limited say when you're building a name for yourself. But instead of having that pressure, I have been like, I'm going to give you a little short film of what I think it is. And I'm just going to have fun with my audition. And I have stopped taking it so seriously because, hello, I'm creating a character for life. Like I seethe. I start by seething and I'm staring. Okay. And then I open with my line. Okay. So when I open with lines, a tip that my coach actually gave me is always say your line on the exhale. I found that to be really helpful. Ground yourself. You're already recording, ground yourself. And then like as your breath is such an important factor, but like as you're breathing, say your line, say your opening line. So my first line, okay, I'm just going to read it. I'm going to read it and then I'm going to come back and give you my thoughts. And I'm actually really excited to see what I can bring to this character. Day 1, observations. Number 1, I always write down the lines that I get. So that's what I'm going to do. Number 2, I'm going to start memorizing on my own because I don't really think that you need to see that. But how I do memorize, I take my phone, I go onto my voice notes app, and I say my other character's lines. So that way I can say mine, and it's kind of like I'm going over my lines with somebody, but I don't have anybody to go over my lines with. So it's Monday. I think I'm going to film on Thursday. I'm going to keep you posted on my process of what I do. But my overall objection, I kind of know this character. Friendly tip also that I have is I think actors are very observant people. I learn best when I observe humans and It's so weird, but it's true. So I tend to go out in public a lot and quite literally just people watch. And I see different kinds of characters and I see different kinds of styles and walks of life and how people hold themselves and present themselves. And when I feel drawn to a specific character just in life, then I will take my notebook and I'll write down that person and how I think they hold themselves. And such an actor thing to do, and it's just strange, but that's what I do, and I find that it helps a lot. So when I am reading something, I'm like, oh, I know her. I have hung out with her before. I also tend to, when I am reading an audition, I think of a friend or an acquaintance or somebody that I know that I can kind of replicate. Sounds so weird that I literally I replicate my friends. But that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. And I know how to hold her. She's confidence. She's confidence. And she knows that she's sexy. And I'm going to play with that. Day one. I'm excited. Welcome to the journey of a self-tape. I'll see you in a few days. Bye. Okay, this is self-tape day. I am so stressed out and upset at myself because I've just had a crazy busy week and I just have not been able to spend as much time as I want to on this self-tape. It's me really just trying to do it like quick. I've just been so busy this week that I haven't been able to spend time creating the character and like doing all these things that I intended, and I completely stressed myself out to now I'm freaking out because I don't know. I feel like I'm not comfortable in my lines. I don't know the character. I don't know what I'm doing. I really wanted to spend time with it and to curate it and to do this with you guys and to come along with it. And I am now, day of audition, absolutely freaking out. I crammed my week too much with saying yes to everything and seeing people and trying to be social that I am now so stressed out because I have a busy, massive day. I have a work thing at 1, and then I have to film this self-tape at 4, and then I have one of the biggest dinners of my entire life with one of the biggest directors in history, and I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about my self-tape. And all of these things are just kind of like piling up, and I'm just upset that I haven't been able to spend time doing it and whatever. But these things happen, these things happen where you get a tape and you want to spend time on it and you want to perfect it and you want to know these lines inside and out. But reality of it is life gets busy. You can't spend time doing it. You got to do what you got to do to survive in this industry, okay? And I'm surviving. I'm not going to let this tape absolutely consume my mind because I'm not going to give it that power. I wish that I was coming in with better news, but I learnt my lines at a coffee shop last night, and I wrote my lines in a coffee shop and then I learned it in an Uber. And now today I'm filming it, and that's just, hey, that's the reality of it. I have to learn to calm down. And whenever I just have a really hard time saying no to things and realizing that I need silence and space and peace. But whenever I'm in my silence and my space and my peace, I freak out because I feel like I'm not doing enough. And then I get like this. When I have 3 things in a day, 3 massive things in a day, I don't feel prepared at all. Okay, my mom is here to help me, and I will talk to you later tonight. It'll be late tonight, but I'll talk to you then, and I'll update you on how today went. But I need to take a breath and I need to chill. Everything's going to be okay. I have to trust myself and my choices and have faith that my brain will pull it off somehow. I'll work on it. What is meant to be will be. I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay. Bye. I'll see you soon. Last time you saw me, I was not doing well. I was panicking, absolutely panicking. What you just saw was like my anxiety coming out 100%, and like me I was nervous, and it wasn't because of the self-tape. I guess a factor of it was because I felt very unprepared for it, and when I feel unprepared for things, then I really start to panic because I have zero control in the outcome. And as an actor, you have no control in any outcome ever, but I like to think I do. This self-tape was really difficult because I felt a lot of weight as an actor to make this good. Sometimes, I read a project and I'm like, wow, this writing it speaks to me. And then there's sometimes where I read something and go, ooh, but I'm not making excuses. I will own up to it. I did not perform well. I did not have a good self-tape. Hello. My audition sunk ass. I was in it, and while I was in it, I was like, what am I doing here? I probably should have maybe said, I don't think so. But the pressure of wanting to be back on set was in the back of my head, and maybe I shouldn't. I should have taken a second and figured out what I wanted to do with that. I didn't have a good tape. I didn't put a good tape out. I felt embarrassed of what I did. I felt it honestly made me question, like, I need to go back into school, or I need to study something. I need to take another class or whatever, even though it's my whole life. And I now am learning to live outside of acting, which is very needed for me. But holy, that audition was so shite. Like I can't even say anything else. I just really struggled with it as an actor. It had nothing to do with anybody else. I just did not resonate with the words. So to make my situation helpful for you, what happens when you as an actor do not resonate with the words, and how do you still give a good performance? I would love to explore this topic of conversation because I also still very much struggle with this. Before I started this episode, whatever we're going to call it, I said that I was going to go through my words. When I first go through all of the lines, I try my best to resonate it with something that I know, that's something that feels familiar, that will help me as an actor. And I was going through these lines and I'm like, yeah, I know her. I can do this character very easily. And once I put that mindset in my mindset, I made her a character. I made like a caricature of a human completely. And that's where I went wrong, because as actors, we are built to humanize these characters, to humanize these words. Our job is to make these lines sound natural. I did not do that. I did not do my task. What I did, I made her into a fake person, a character and not a human being. I was like, I know her. I know what I can do with her. She's just this high school bitchy girl who's lost and is confident, and she leads with confidence. And I made all of these things up that have nothing to do with her human qualities. So you have to, number one, resonate with it, because if you do not resonate with the words that are being spoken, there's very, very limited things you can do. Oof. The headspace that it goes in once you have a bad audition, like the headspace of that, oh my gosh, needs to be studied. Thankfully, I grew up playing sports, so my mindset is already very competitive, but it is such a mental game. Acting is such a mental game. Are you kidding me? I was in my head for the whole day. I was panicked that I didn't know my lines. I was trying to learn my lines at lunch, trying to do an ad with my mother, and then I was so stressed out that I let the outside circumstances affect my audition. And I didn't block that out, but because I didn't learn my lines, because I just had such a crazy week that, like one thing after another, I can totally, I can be like, I didn't resonate with the character. I didn't resonate with the lines, maybe AI. I had a busy week, crazy busy day, like one of the most intense days ever. I can have all of these excuses, but at the end of the day, I'm the actor. I take full responsibility that I submitted a bad tape, and maybe casting will see it and they're like, it wasn't even that bad. I don't care, but it's not up to my standards as an actor, which are already very high. But I am rambling on now. Just because you have one bad audition does not mean that you're a bad actor. But I was like, I need to take classes because I don't think I'm good anymore. Like, I haven't been on set in a few months, and I haven't been on set for more than a few days in a long time. And I had a meeting with my agent this week, and I was like, I don't know. I feel like something's coming. And my body and my mind is telling me to prepare. And that's what I have been. I've been really protecting my energy, protecting who I give my energy to, because I just feel like I should be preparing for something. And that's what I'm doing. But then I get tapes like these where I get in my head again and I'm like, am I ever going to work again? And that cycle is absolutely incredible. Am I ever going to work again as an actor? When I'm not up to my own standards, I am so rude to myself. I'm picking apart my career, my acting, my skin, how I appear, my energy, my like everything, okay? Based off of one event, one self-tape, okay? You are so talented. You need to be reminded that just because you had one bad tape does not mean that you are a bad actor. Because comparing yourself to other projects or other auditions that you have done, it's not going to do anything for you. It's not. I review my self-tapes all the time and go, damn, that was a really good self-tape. How did I not hear from that? It was a really good self-tape. And babes, it has very limited things to do with that tape that you submitted. Could quite literally just be you were too tall for that role. It's a lot about look. It's a lot about what have you been in. It's a lot about connections. Maybe they went with an American actor, you're a Canadian actor. Hello, we hear that all the time. You are so talented. You are okay. You are going to be so successful. Everything that you want already wants you. Speak it into existence. Let the universe know I will be the most successful actress. My dinner went really well. I don't want to talk about it publicly on social media because I want a part of my journey to be hidden a little bit. But this was a really big deal for me. One of the biggest directors in the world. I met him and I am so grateful that he has found all of this success because he's absolutely incredible. And that night still is completely wild to me. But I don't want to come on social media and be like, I had dinner with da-da-da-da-da. I just want to let that also let my impact, I hope, just sit there for a second. But yeah, I just know that I had such a good night. Okay, we started at this most bougie restaurant. I had some of the best food that I've ever had ever. The reason why I met up with this crazy famous director, he was filming in Toronto and now he's doing post-production in Toronto. And we share the same editor. The editor was in town and said, let's get our teams together. So my director DMs us saying, hi, everybody, wants to have dinner with us. And I got that text and went, and I put on my red dress, I straightened my hair, and I said, let's go. And so this is what I was thinking about this whole day. I was just thinking, how do I leave an impact? At dinner, I was sitting at one side of the table, he was sitting at the other, but then we were walking to this bar, and I was just walking by myself, and then he comes up to me, and it's me and him just walking, and he goes, so how do you know, and he says our director's name is Louise. He's like, how do you know Louise? And I was like, I starred in her film. I'm an actor. And I just, and he was like, oh, tell me about the process. And he was, oh my gosh, I'm so happy that he, out of everybody, found success and this just shows you that when you have a good soul and light in your soul and you are kind to other people, success will follow you wherever you go. It's inevitable. So that was wild. That I had such a bad audition and then I had such a crazy night with the most famous director. Thank you for listening and coming along this journey. I apologize that it wasn't up to par for my usual stuff. Usually I'm like, oh my God, I am the best actor there ever is. I crushed that. My confidence in myself is, you got to be delusional a little bit, and mama delusional. I went through it here. You saw me panic. You saw me relax. I really hope that you're being kind to yourself and you lead with kindness. You are light. You are love. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to go watch the fireworks by myself. I'm going on a date with myself. So what's up? Just got back from ice cream. Okay, toodaloo. Have a good night, suckers. Thanks for listening to my words. Bye.